Thumbnail. Hey guys, it's Caitlin, and today I thought I would show you how to do this awesome DIY, and it's not just any DIY, it's a Disney DIY. So if you would like to learn how to make some ears, then just keep on watching. First, I'm taking a circular object that is the size I want my ear, tracing it out on cardboard, then cutting it out. Then I line up the circle onto my headband and mark off the area I need to cut off. By cutting it off, it allows the ear to sit firmly onto the headband. I then use my manicure sanding block around all the edges to smooth them out. This is optional, but it greatly reduces imperfections when cutting out the circle. This helps keep it from looking bumpy in the finished product. I then take the finished ear and trace 3 more of them on cardboard. Then I cut them out and sand them as well. Each ear consists of 2 pieces, so you will need 4 circles. I then stack them all together and hold them in place with a binder clip. Then I sand all of them while in the bundle. I'm trying to make them all as even as possible. Again, this step is optional. I then label the uglier side of the cardboard so I know which side doesn't need to face the fabric. Now onto the headband. For this step, I recommend using a paintbrush that you don't care about. This is what fabric glue does to brushes. Now to wrap the headband. Starting with a plain white headband, I paint fabric glue starting from the tip and gently roll the fabric on, all the way around. Do this from one side to the other. Keep in mind, you don't have to wrap the fabric, but it always looks better in my opinion. You can buy a headband that matches your fabric. Since my fabric is white, a white headband is mandatory. While I glue, I trim off excess fabric to make the next step easier. Then I paint fabric glue on the inside of the headband, then fold the fabric over and paint more glue on top of it. I start from the middle and do one side at a time. Remember to trim the fabric as you go along to make this step easier. Now for the tips. I apply a lot of glue, then fold the fabric over and apply glue to keep it in place. I tend to use my fingers to apply pressure so that it will stick. This part can be tricky. I then take a thin ribbon and measure it out to the size of the headband. This will be the lining. I then paint more fabric glue along the inside and then apply the ribbon. This is again optional, but it helps hide the ugly seam from where we folded the fabric over. Now onto the ear fabric. I take a circular object that is a little larger than my cardboard ear and trace it onto my fabric. You will need 4 of these. To clean them up, I iron all 4 circles. Next, I'm laying my fabric, good side down, underneath my cardboard ear. I then take hot glue and line the edges of the cardboard, then fold the fabric over, smoothing it out with a popsicle stick. I use the stick to smooth out the glue so I don't burn my fingers. Do this all the way around, but do not close the gap at the end of the cutout. You need to leave it open so that you can stuff the ear. I stuff the ear with pillow stuffing, then fold and glue the fabric at the bottom to seal it in. You have now completed an ear. Do this 3 more times. Next, apply glue to one half of the ear, then apply the remaining half. Apply a lot of pressure to make sure they stick together. Now we have to cover up the ugly gap between each half of the ear. To do that, I'm going to use trim. Measure out the amount of trim you want to use, run a little hot glue between the halves, then stick in the trim. Do this all the way around, stopping at the cutout. If you have any excess trim, cut it off. Now line them up, apply your hot glue, and smush them on. If you have any hot glue showing through, just put trim over it. Just measure the trim to fit and add your glue. Now for the bow. I'm using this little pink bow for size reference. I take my pre-ironed bow fabric of choice, fold it into a perfect rectangle, and after every fold I crease it under the iron. Can you see the difference? Then, taking another scrap of matching fabric, I am making the center part of the bow. I cut a small rectangle, fold over the sides, and iron it flat. Then I scrunch up the fabric and fold it in different ways to make the perfect bow. I then wrap around the small piece for the center, clip it, and glue it in place. Now to attach the bow. Line it up, then glue it down with hot glue. And here's your finished pair of DIY Minnie Ears. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to join the family and see all the fun Disney adventures I have coming up ahead. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, you're a beautiful baby and have a magical day. Bye!